swimming hen.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Hello, world.
Alright, so, yeah, you guys have taken out all these mysterious figures in black chameleon suits. Where do you want to go from here?
We're not in any sort of combat anymore. They're all just...
Yeah, there doesn't appear to be any more hostile figures around you.
Can I climb this ladder? And look
You
for that
can,
device?
yes. Yeah, now that
Hey, hi, buddy.
you have a few more time to look around, you actually see a device that's mounted up against the wall, like right where you are, and you immediately recognize that as a signal jammer.
Take it. Might be
Can I
useful.
take it and turn it off?
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
Yeah,
Look.
don't break it.
I'm smarter than that.
Just write down signal jammer and remind me. A lot of you guys have gotten stuff throughout this adventure, and we'll get to that during the epilogue.
Alright, I have
Hello,
a signal
Papa
gem
Tim.
in my pocket.
Jammer.
And then Saren says, "Hey guys, can you hear me? I found this jammer. Can you hear me?"
Comm links work again.
Huzzah! Has the crowd cleared out? If the crowd hasn't cleared out, then I'm
For the
unclear,
most
but
part,
get everybody
yeah.
else
There's
to
some
leave.
stragglers wandering around. Still, a bunch of people that are kind of like out of it, or just you can tell like aren't really feeling any fear right now.
Well, then I'm escorting, or not escorting, but telling all of them to get out because we're
Okay.
pointless now.
Saren looks at this guy she shot and thinks, well, he got unlucky.
Can I just start, like, checking this dude's body for shit?
Yeah. The only thing that you can find on him is there's no identification, but you do see. Let's see, what was he using? A light pistol called a Seska Black Scorpion, which is the gun he was using on you, obviously.
Okay.
Loaded with gel rounds.
I'll just take that. Seska Black Scorpion?
Ceska. Ceska Black Scorpion, yeah. And again, just write this down in like gear somewhere, and then at the end of the adventure, we'll go through and I'll yeah, we'll set aside time to go through that shit, basically.
Copying Malthus' example, Saren takes a look at this guy, see what she can find.
That guy doesn't appear to actually have any weapons on him. His little melee weapon was like laying on the floor back here-ish that he threw when he was whacking Mr. Milosh across the side of the head. But yeah, then he doesn't seem to have any identification or anything on him either. And Benton is has torn off his the guy's helmet and is trying to look at him and figure out, but looks.
Can I kick this guy down to the
Script.
stage
Can
to get him out of the way?
yeah, you could do that.
Will it kill him?
If he lands on his neck, probably.
There's a chance.
There's always a chance a fall could kill you. It's a pretty significant fall. And he's unconscious, so he can't brace himself.
Yeah. Which I've heard, at least in car accidents, is better for you.
Yep. You don't tense. Ah, fine, I'll just leave him up there. How else the hell are we gonna get him down, though?
Presumably you could like step over him. The catwalks are.
Well, if we want to wake him up and question him.
Oh yeah, he's
I'm not carrying his ass.
been
Walker
loaded.
can catch him.
His lightning strike twice a day. At this point, you hear Elian's comm link go off and saying, All right, what the hell's happening? I need everyone to check in. What's going on? He's kind of like just blabbering like a string of panicky like questions, basically.
Saren says, I shot a man.
You see
Oh,
Benton as he puts this body down on the floor, just kind of like grins, like yes, you did.
I'm gonna check this guy too. He's still up here.
That guy has a crossbow on him. It is a light crossbow, and it is loaded with trank darts. Or I guess not. Maybe you don't load a light crossbow, but he has trank darts on him. Say like 5.
How many?
Looting all the guys, looting all the guys.
Saren starts to eat some dried fruit.
And you would actually not. You don't know what's in the darts necessarily, but you can surmise it is some kind of tranquilizer based on the fact that Lana was knocked unconscious pretty quickly. You see Benton kind of ignore Mr. Milosh and shout, turn over to the stage and begin walking over. He said, all right, team, what's the status? Where's Lana? What's going on?
I've got Lana right here. She's a little unconscious, so you might want to get some medical attention pretty quick.
At this point, Lance has come up there. He's kind of left his body back there. He kneels down at her, checks the pulse, nods, and says, brother, are you still of the healing persuasion?
Indeed. Such services are needed. All right.
Your guy flies across the room.
That's right. I assume it's just empty now. I was like,
Gossamer wing. Yeah, it's...
At will.
Yeah, the rooms is generally emptied out by now. A few
All right.
hanger-ons are still gawking, but I think you ushered most of the people out.
Yeah, he will lean over Lana, take some
Do you have
accounting
a
of what
medical, like the actual medicine skill at all?
medicine. I do. I think. What's it called? First aid. That's what it's called. I have very little, but I have it.
Well, there is an actual medicine skill, though, isn't there, or is there not?
Isn't it?
Yeah, but that's like
Like
it's
for
like,
identifying-
It's like biotech.
Yeah, there is a medicine
Like-
skill.
Oh, medicine. Oh,
Yeah, it's a logic.
yeah, I don't have that one.
Yeah, you have to know it.
Alright.
You can't default on that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have first aid. I don't have.
Let me see, hold on.
I've got medicine.
Technical skill. Yeah, there's a
assume they do.
medicine skill. Oops. Advanced medical procedures such as surgeries includes long-term medical support for disease and illness, and the skill can be used to diagnose a character's medical condition. Okay. So that's what it... Okay. So you probably should have used that for that last session when we did the person falling down. So medicine is actually to diagnose stuff. First aid is the process of providing, like, first aid care.
You want me to come down and use the medicine skill then?
That would probably be the most applicable skill, yeah. So Ursa, you would probably want someone to diagnose
Like
maybe
what
like
kind of
what's in her...
poison is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of what's in the system.
Sure. Yeah.
Saren pours herself a drink from the bar.
All right. Yeah, Malta, come use your medicine skill. And...
Oh, great.
She freaks out.
Yeah, you shrug.
Nah. We'll edge point that one.
Oh, okay.
So, just it's a 3.
Yeah, there you go. Just a
You don't have to edge point. If you actually, if you guys just want to wait a little bit, like if you want to just say I need more time or something, I'll let you roll it again. If the rest of you guys want to take some kind of actions, you're not under like this isn't combat time or anything.
Okay.
At this point, Mr. Milosh is approaching the stage now and saying, "What the hell's going on?"
Can I just yell someone shut him up so I can take a look at her?
Yeah. And he says, "Take a look at who? What's like?" You guys are all kind of crowding around this area. Is Lana okay? And you notice his voice and attitude kind of changes when he realizes that she might be injured in any way.
She's fine, just unconscious. They hit her with some sort of tranquilizer. We're dealing with it now.
Who were those people? What the hell was that? Benton, I thought your team could handle this. Benton,
We are handling it.
Okay. Benton slowly turns around, nods to you, Ursiv, and looks at, he says, Mr. Milosh, we can handle a lot of things. This seems like it was a trained, coordinated attack. I have never seen anything like this. This feels like a complete operation. This is a security team for a concert, not a military installation that we are guarding here. But as you can see, all the enemies are down, and we seem to have protected everyone. Elian looks defiant and keeps his head up and kind of still walks closer over here and keeps darting his eyes at Lana. So Malta, go ahead and roll again for medicine.
One.
One success. Okay, you're pretty. Let's see.
Someone really needs to shut this guy up so I can pay attention.
Toxins. You can't quite identify the actual substance, but you're pretty sure it was a fairly common tranquilizer that she was hit with, and that she just needs a little bit of rest, or whatever could heal the equivalent of stun damage. You should be able to hopefully bring her back into consciousness.
Which I cannot do.
Ursula announces dramatically.
If there are no physical wounds, this woman just needs to sleep.
Sleep it off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Benton says, let's take her back to her room. Kind of picks her up gingerly, takes her back over here.
Ursiv is going to start the process of climbing up the ladder and trying to fireman carry the two guys up there down to where we can actually talk to them.
Okay.
Or somewhere where we can deal with them.
Yeah.
You want to just catch them and I'll kick them to you?
I think I don't think I can actually catch these guys. I don't have any sort of gymnastics or anything.
All right.
Sarah
Well,
says over the calmly, why don't y'all call a real doctor?
We got
Yeah,
it covered.
so
He's fine.
between the four of you, I'm sure you can get these bodies down without
Put
necessarily.
them in
any
the
wounds.
I don't know what room.
Let's put them over here. There's a storage room.
Yeah,
Not the dry fruit.
Yep, they're going in with the dried fruit.
Okay.
yeah. Make sure they don't have anything on them. Can I
Yeah, I
check
think
the room?
we-
Make sure there's nothing they can use as weapons in there.
Yeah, it looks to be just food,
Yeah.
stuff, storage space. I think you guys searched them all at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, except for the one Lance had. We need to check him.
Right. Yeah. We put the
Yeah.
other two that are down.
You notice that he looks like he had a similar pistol gun to the other one, but it is like crushed and broken, as if struck by a hammer. And he also doesn't have any identification on him.
How many? Because we need to tie them up, because Lord knows what could happen if we don't.
True. I don't have anything.
Is there anything around there, like rope or anything that we can use that's in that storage room?
Not that you can see. It's just a bunch of like kegs and fruits, boxes of various dried goods, and anything they would need for the bar
Seal them
area.
up in-
Say again?
Seal them up in kegs.
7
The
in
Hobbit
there.
style. Just
Straight jackets.
I have one pair of manacles. I guess we can manacle two of them together on their ankles.
there you go.
No, you should manacle one ankle to one wrist.
There, even
That
better.
could work too. Yep, I like it.
Create a human centipede.
Pretty much.
Let's stitch them together. I wish to create a
That's the
monster.
real use of the medicine skill right there.
I have a 3 first aid skill.
They'll be
Dear
fine.
Lord.
Yeah, so the two that are sleeping,
Yeah.
you manacle the wrist of one to the ankle of the other.
Yeah, that way they can't go nowhere.
Make the other two hold hands.
Tie their shoelaces together.
They're dead.
Are they dead or are they just unconscious?
I believe everybody should be unconscious because I think everybody
Okay.
either.
Well,
Yeah,
just two of them
everybody filled up
access
their
to them
stun
has
damage.
disease.
One of them got shot with whatever you
Bullet.
had. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, one of them got shot with straight up with like bullets right to the bloodstream.
okay.
Oh.
And then the
Oh,
other
bless,
three
right.
that you just filled up their stun track. So.
Right.
So yeah. Benton's brought Lana back to the couch area back here. Alien's kind of pacing outside of her room right now. At this point, Margaret's come out, and these two are kind of talking as she's getting caught up on the action. Say Lance is over there.
Yeah, let's let Lance guard the room. Make sure they
Guard the room. Alright, at this point you hear these guys, Mouts, you over here, these guys are having a heated conversation at this point.
Oh. Can I sneak and see if I can get closer to hear better?
Yeah, you don't even have to actually sneak. They're like pretty involved. But you basically just hear Margaret is kind of snapping at him about like, what the hell was that? Like, this was like a trained military force coming after us. And he's kind of, at first he sounds really angry, and then he gets really just kind of sad. And she's like, what, do you know what's going on? Like, what the hell? And he just kind of looks real strange for a second and starts like walking. Looks like he's gonna walk in her room.
Saren's doing some research to see where you can buy these signal jammers.
Saren, you still had her computer in your room too, or in this like wherever you were working on, like in here maybe.
Oh. Well, the alcohol beckoned to me, but I guess I can back. No, but she's looking to see if there's any like serial numbers on this jammer, because I assume it might be high grade, high quality. Like you can just buy it from Walmart.
Yeah, it's not terribly high quality. It's low mid grade. It doesn't seem to have any specific markings on it, since most people that buy them on the black market do not want to have that traced back.
So basically, I can't tell where it came from.
No.
Okay.
At this point, Benton comes out of the room and says, "Okay, I think she might be waking up."
Let's talk to her.
Saren says she either is waking up or she's not.
I think she's waking up, and this Alien actually says, "Maybe we should give her some space right now. Let her rest."
No, I think we need to talk to her. Where's our face man?
He looks anxious.
Miss Grace, are you okay?
Are you shouting from the stage?
Yes. I rush over to her.
Remember me? I'm the one with the thumbs up.
That moment we shared.
She
Well,
nods
that's a
slowly and
lifetime.
says, "Yes, I'm a bit groggy."
Do you know anything about what just happened to you?
At this point, Elian actually shoves past you, Falkirk, very noticeably, and kind of throws his arms around her as he kind of like sits down next to her and acts like really protective. And he glares at you guys and says, "I demand to know what the hell happened back there. Who are those people? How did they get in? Were you doing your job at all?" And Benton,
I ignore him.
you hear a sharp intake of breath from Benton behind you.
All right, Ursa's gonna walk up to what's his name? Milosh.
Benton? Oh.
While Falkirk's talking to Grace, is going to gently extricate Milosh from him and tell him, "Sir, this is a security matter right now. We're trying to determine the nature of this threat. Until we have, perhaps you should wait outside." And he's not like forceful, but he's also not letting him sit back down.
Flex your fingers.
Um,
You're gonna crush him.
Elian glares at you wild-eyed and says, "I'm the boss here. I demand to know what's going on, or you're all gonna get out immediately." He almost is like shaking. Benton.
What's happening here is that some men tried to kidnap your star. And until we determine their nature, the nature of this threat, you would have to trust our judgment.
Elian looks like he's like fists are balled and he's kind of shaking. And at this point, Lana actually puts an kind of a hand on his shoulder, and he sits back down, although he's still very tense. And she says, "That's okay. That won't be necessary. I think I know who they were." At this point, Benton steps forward and he looks pretty surprised. He's like, "Miss Grace, what's..." And he looks at her and she kind of nods. Says, "It's my parents. They disapproved
Those
of
your
my
parents?
talents, and I disapproved of their lifestyle. I ran away when I was 17. I thought I could run away from all that and live my own life." And you see Elian's demeanor completely changes. He turns like really, just becomes very just emotional, and his entire attention's focused on her, and he's just kind of trying to like shake it off and shake his head no at her.
Can I do a what's the thing called? Judge intentions on Elian to see if he is just smitten with her, or if there's some other weird thing going on with him, or if I can
Yep.
tell.
Absolutely can. Okay.
3, it's not bad.
While you do that, Saren, in a private channel, says to Malta, "Why don't you just gently introduce him to one of those trick cards you picked up?"
Ursa, you get the feeling that they have an established relationship, possibly a romantic relationship, and
It's
seem
just
to be
like
they seem to have a
boyfriend.
connection that's more than what has been that you could have been able to tell before.
Okay. Then I'm not as worried about him.
Yeah, at this point, Benton steps up and says, "Miss Grace, is there something you need to tell us?" And she says, "My parents, they own and operate a number of retail shops, restaurants, and businesses here in Seattle. But they're all a front for the Yakuza. Money laundering, backdoor meetings, drug trafficking. They tried to hide it from me when I was a kid, but I stumbled upon a meeting as a teenager. They told me they could provide the best for me, that the Yakuza had taken care of them for years. I ran away a few months later. They've tried to contact me many times. I've never told anyone now, except for," and she kind of nods at Elian, who looks just super, like, worried. And she says, "I never thought they'd actually come after me."
Tough situation.
You feel the empathy right there.
So, assuming these men were hired by your parents to what, abduct you and bring you back to them, where you would live some sort of forced life back at their home?
She nods and says, "Yes, I think I'm an embarrassment for them or a liability because I know things, and they're worried that I could say something, but I know they would never hurt me. Um,
What could you say to hurt them?
I could reveal them or go to any other mob family with the information of their identities, and it would jeopardize their whole operation. It could start a war between the Yakuza and any other mafia family. There's already probably wars going on, but certainly more blood would be spilled. And I never wanted to hurt anyone. I just wanted to try to escape from that whole life. And at this point, Elian actually speaks up and says, I find his stuff. He says, he kind of nods along with it. It says, I wanted to keep her, secret, hide her identity, only play indie shows. I found her and brought her up. She had great talent, an ability to make people happy. And then at this point, Benton says, and an ability to make you a lot of money. At which point, Elian says, it wasn't about the money, but she wouldn't have any of it. People are drawn to her for who she is. Her talents only work because she's true to herself. I thought we could protect her, but instead of glaring at you guys, he actually just keeps his face to the ground and looks fairly defeated. And Lana looks up and says, "You all look more than just security guards. I could hire you." And Benton says, "Miss Grace, they already work." And she waves him away dismissively. "No, I need them to do a job. High risk, but I'll pay more than your security wage. I'll need evidence on my parents, something I can use if they ever try and come after me again. I don't want to hurt them, I just want to be free of them, but if they want to play this game, I'll put the best pieces on the board."
So you want to blackmail them?
She nods and says, She looks worried for a moment when you say that word, and she's like, and actually looks down at her hands and says, I just need assurance, and I think this is the only thing that they'll listen to.
If it will keep this woman from further attack, I would agree to it.
You think there's no other way other than getting dirty?
Does the information you have on your parents now not enough?
I need something that would fully bring down their entire operation based on more than just my word. Some kind of hard evidence that I can turn into the police or something, some force in case they would ever come after me again. But hopefully, with this gaining this information, that would just assure that they wouldn't come after me.
If you don't mind me saying so, wouldn't it simply be easier to stop being such a prominent figure? It seems you are, by voluntary action, making your life needlessly complicated.
Elian actually stands up and says, "It's my fault. She wanted to hide at first, and then I wanted to share her talents, her magical gifts, and now she's become a success." And he just kind of starts rambling, and she quiets him down again, and she says, "I need the freedom to live my own life. I don't want to run away anymore and disappear. I won't. I won't ever come back to Seattle. I'll stay out of their area. But in case their reach ever gets bigger, I need to have some kind of assurance. Will you help me?
What do
Very
we-
well.
Yeah.
That sounds. I suppose I could go along with it. Everyone else okay with that?
Let us be clear, Miss Grace. We aren't going to hurt your parents. We aren't killers for hire.
No, that's why I need you. That's why I need your team. You managed to incapacitate all those guys. Let's just assume you already discussed the guards. You saved me and didn't hurt anyone. That's exactly what I need. I don't want you to hurt. Yeah, I definitely don't want you to hurt my parents. I think they're wrong, but I don't want them to get hurt.
And this job pays well.
She looks down at her hands and she says, "I can pay you. I can pay you for each piece of evidence that you can get me if you can find multiple incriminating, either physical or electronic information or details on their involvement in their businesses." And she nods to Elian. Elian grabs a little data pad and keys over, and you guys see an address pop up and says, "Here's their address. It's a large house, a villa, really, crawling with security. They'll know their team has failed here. They may already know, so I need you to leave as soon as possible before they have a chance to react. Look for any pieces of evidence you can find, and then, yeah, as I said, the more you can find for me, the more I'll pay. If you're caught, I don't know what they'll do, but it won't be good. Don't get caught. And please don't kill anyone. I don't want anyone to get hurt." And says, "Miss Grace, I don't..." And he actually turns to Ursa and says, Are you sure about this? This is
Believe
not
it
what
or
I
not.
brought you on for."
The job you brought us on for is honestly not our forte. Be honest, this is more along the lines of the type of work we usually do.
So we're basically robbing a bank, and we can't kill him.
This should be fun.
She only discouraged killing. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. She only discouraged it.
Yeah, how you do things is ultimately up to you.
Practice my sneaking skills.
Saren, don't kill anyone.
Someone steal his gun from him and load it with rubber bullets.
Only gel rounds? Yeah, I thought about
Only
that.
gel rounds.
I will try not to.
Hey, Sam, I got a bottle of booze. You want to trade your gun for it?
No.
Very well.
Like,
You'll need to know everything you know about your parents' grounds.
She says, I haven't been there in years. I can give you a floor plan that I know of, but I don't
Yes.
know if there's been any changes or updates or what's going on. I know it's in a very rich part of town, near just outside downtown Seattle, within a gated community. You'll need to get through that. And then the villa itself, they usually always had, not always armed guards, but a few times when things seemed especially tense, they definitely had some security there. And I imagine now with them going as bold as sending a team to actually take me in the middle of a concert, they've probably got some security.
Perhaps there's a way to mitigate this a little bit. What if one of the guards were to call in and say they were successful? Do you imagine the guards would take you to your parents' home? Would that be their next location? Do you think? I know it's just a guess.
She shrugs and says, I don't know what their plan was, but I imagine they were wanting to take me back home to that location.
You said your parents owned some companies. What's the name of the company?
They don't own a company, they own a bunch of businesses and restaurants in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah says, Ursa, I actually like the way you're thinking.
Yes.
They sent 4 hitmen, or whatever you call them, 4 of us.
Right.
We could just call in, let them know that we've got Lana, and ask what to do next.
And we could, just drive straight into their compound. Or the home, whatever it is. No increased security, since the job wouldn't have failed.
I can't believe I actually like this idea.
Ursa is worried that Saren's immediately on his side.
When the psychopath's nodding along with you, that's could be a red flag. Alright, so the mission is accepted. Mission part 2.
Mhm.
Deliberations are being made.
Yeah, I think we should. I can get one of the guards, and this is what I tell everybody without revealing any details or anything. I can get one of the guards to call in and report a success. If we can figure out, how they intend to deliver her, we can simply drive in and collect whatever information we need to collect once we get there.
Sounds really easy.
I'm sure it will
I'm
be.
sure it won't be.
Yeah.
At this point, Benton turns to you, Ursib, and says, "Well, brother, I appreciate you helping Miss Grace in this way. I can't believe that things happen the way they do. Maybe trouble just seems to follow you around. But I will remain here with Miss Grace, and at this point we need to tighten our security, pull back. I'll let you know where our location will be, and we can keep in touch until these events can transpire, and good luck and take care of yourselves."
After we leave, we will need your team to take care of these enemy combatants. We won't be able to take them with us.
Nods and said, "Yes, we are not accustomed to taking prisoners here." And he kind of looks around at Elian and those guys. He says, "My current plan would be to probably keep them bound and gagged and drop them off on the side of the road somewhere."
That's fine. Just keep them until our plan is complete, until our mission is complete. Keep them safe and out of the public.
He nods. He says, "That's going to be difficult, but we can attempt to keep them safe. But keep them in prison. My primary concern is always going to be protecting Miss Grace, though."
At this point, it seems like they're pretty incapacitated. Any one of your team could probably take care of it. The dwarf seems to enjoy hurting things.
That he does. That's why I keep him around. And he puts out his hand for you to shake.
Sure. I shake his hand. Good luck, brother.
Alright, I think that will bring our session to a close. Right at 5 till midnight Central Time. We will start again next week as we attempt to, plan a little bit more. You guys can also plan offline, of course, and then we can launch into Next week's mission part 2. Now that we have completed the concert portion of the adventure. So thank you to Chris, Heather, Raymond, and Reese. I am Eric for Twitch TV/Scorebash722, live streaming Shadowrun via Roll20. Be here every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. Don't miss it. Bye.
Bye.